In 2021, you saw the Solana Summer, the 100x that ripped in front of everyone's faces. And now in 2024, you've seen Solana Summer again. And I know what you're probably thinking, how do I capitalize on the next layer 1 project that's going to do another 100x? Well, the secret isn't actually in that layer 1 coin itself, it's in digging a little deeper into its ecosystem. A successful layer 1 coin can have tens, if not hundreds, of projects built upon it. And now it's about finding out which project in the ecosystem is going to have the best pumponomics. And by the way, if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. The aim of this channel is to provide you the best crypto alpha and be the most objective possible. In this video, I want to break down this whole process as simply as I can, and I promise you by the end of this video, you're going to understand pretty much 50% of crypto. It's taken me years to distill all these ideas into such a simple concept for you. Now let's jump in the screens. Now before we start with anything, let's just clarify what a layer 1 is. A layer 1 is an infrastructure that allows other projects or protocols to be built on top of. You scroll the top 10 here, Ethereum, BNB, Solana, TON, ADA, Avax, Tron, DOT. These are all layer 1 coins. All layer 1 coins are all trying to solve the same problem, which is to be the best infrastructure, but they all face the same thing, which is the scalability trilemma. In this triangle, you need to pick two. You can't have all three. You either can have security and scalability, or you can have security and decentralization, or decentralization and scalability. Ethereum has security and decentralization, but it's really slow. That's why you have layer 2 coins come on that are built on top of Ethereum's layer 1 that help it solve with scalability. If you're a protocol that's involved in banking or DeFi, or maybe something that involves a lot of money, you're probably going to choose to build on top of Ethereum because it's got the most security and the most decentralization. It might be a little more expensive, and you might have to be paying $100 to $200 on gas, but when you're sending billions at a time, that might be worth it. If you're a gaming protocol, your users can't afford to pay $100 to $200 every time for a transaction when they're making 10 to 20 transactions an hour. You're probably going to choose to build on top of a blockchain like Avax that is faster and cheaper. Now, the best analogy I have for a layer 1 is to think about it as its own country. You got a country that has high-paying jobs, it has good people, it has good healthcare, and it has good infrastructure. Then a lot of people are going to want to come and open businesses, work in your country, and that's going to create a flywheel effect, right? More businesses opening, more successful people come, more money is made, more people want to join. Flywheel effect. Your country gets bigger and it gets more prosperous. But for it to be working, they have to use only your currency. So if it's the country of Avalanche, they have to use Avax. If it's the country of Solana, they have to use Sol. The country of Polkadot, they have to use DOT. Now, how do we actually dive deeper into the ecosystem of its coins, right? So imagine we have the country of Avax here. What are the different types of projects that are building on top of Avax? There's lots of different categories. The main ones are going to be the DEX, which is this decentralized exchange. They're going to be your meme coins. They're going to be your DeFi and lending protocols. They're going to be your games, launch pads. They can even be wallets. They can be oracles. And they can even be NFTs. And the reason that you want to get into these ecosystems and buy the coins within them is because you're going to have a higher beta. Now, what is a beta? Beta is basically the concept measured that is the expected move in a stock relative to the movements in the overall market. Let's call the overall market the actual main coin itself, the main layer 1 being Solana, being Avax, and then the measures is what's expected of what to happen in Avax. So let's say if Avax does a 5x, what are the coins in it going to do? Best way to explain it is to think about drawing on a graph. So that's money and that's time. So if Avax, let's say, has a beta of 5 and it's going to go up by 5x, the coins in them, in this ecosystem itself, they're going to have an even higher return. So they might have an alpha, which is the difference that you have between the beta. So you might have an alpha of another 5. You might get a 10x here on the ecosystem, and you might have a 5x here on the layer 1 on Avax or Solana. Now, one thing to bear in mind, when Avax goes up a 5x and you have an even higher upside of a 10x, when Avax goes down, let's say 20%, coins within the ecosystem are going to go down more than 20%. So you have basically a higher swing and volatility in the upside and in the downside. So make sure when you are trading these coins, you are ready for it to pump way harder and dump way harder as well. That's why don't get attached to these coins. When they do go up and they do make multiples, make sure to take profits. Now, what are be some of the catalysts that make a layer 1 pump? That's going to be big changes for news. So, for example, Fantom is going to have the Sonic protocol release. That's going to make it more scalable, up to 12,000 transactions per second. They're trying to make it as scalable as Solana. Number 2 is real world use case. And that's going to be like Telegram that has hundreds of millions of users, and all of the native crypto users are on Telegram. That's going to be like Base that has many, many millions, probably I think it's like 50, 60, 70 million people using Coinbase, and that they're going to be able to seamlessly bridge over to Base. There's no Base coin right now, but there's all the coins in the Base ecosystem. You would have seen all the meme coins in Base go absolutely crazy, like Brett, Normie, Degen, all these coins that are there, Otoshi. And then the next one is going to be when it passes regulation, passes regs. So that's going to be like XRP when they pass the SEC case. And for smaller, newer layer ones, I'm going to say when total value locked goes up significantly, and you're going to see the market cap ratio and total value locked ratio get out of proportion. So what does that mean? If you just look at DeFi and Llama, you can come to look at the chains, and you'll be able to see all the chains here, how much total value locked is on there. And then it's also going to give you a column that you're going to see market cap divided by total value locked. So you can see here that Solana has a market cap over total value locked ratio of 16.88, which is basically the total value locked 3.97 billion divided by its entire market cap. And what you can see with Ethereum, it's got a much lower ratio of 7. And if you scroll down, you can see Avalanche about 14.38, Matic at 7, got Ton at 100, Fantom 16. And basically what you can see, Algo, all the main coins that have been around for a long time, all these layer ones, pretty much settled at 16.88 in terms of the market cap to total value locked. It's not saying that that's one indicator and that's the only indicator, but if you look at what the big layer ones are valued at, they're usually around 10 to 16 to 17 in terms of this ratio. If there's a new layer 1 coin that comes on and the total value locked is absolutely skyrocketing really quick and the market cap hasn't caught up, and let's say you see a ratio of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going to be able to see that that market cap can still double for the market cap to TVL ratio to be at 16. If you see a new layer 1, let's say it's going to be Say or Celestia, or maybe even layer 2 like Linea, and you come and look at DeFi Llama and you see that this market cap to TVL ratio is really off compared to the big top 10 ones, you can see that there might be a lot of growth coming in. Another way to find out what sort of sectors you want to look into within ecosystem, again, you can come to DeFi Llama and you can look at the top protocols and you'll be able to scroll across here. You can see Ethereum, there's categories in liquid staking, restaking, lending, CDP, yield, DEXs, services, liquid restaking, real world assets, farming, cross-chain, uncollateralized lending, synthetics, launchpads, privacy. The list goes on and on and on and on. So you can come in here and look at what are the leading protocols within each sector. So if you wanted to see, okay, what is the best oracle on Ethereum right now, it's WitSwap. So you want to long the leaders, right? If you believe that oracles or the wallets, you could essentially, or the reserve currencies, options vaults, you could essentially just come in here, find what is the best protocol per category, and just long all of the winners of the chains that you think are going to be leading. Now, in my opinion, the layer ones that are going to do well this year are, of course, Solana. Solana's pretty much already done a 10x this year, but they've got the highest transactions per second. There's loads of project building on it, lots of retail attention, lots of meme coins. It's going to be Fantom. That's launching the Sonic protocol. That's trying to make it as scalable as Solana. Currently at 12,000 transactions per second, trying to go up to 65,000. So there's still a bit of a gap there. But I think Fantom's going to have a big run. There's going to be Avax, which hasn't had a run yet this year. Lots of games are built on Avax, and we know that gaming is the future. If gaming is going to take off, we know that Avax will benefit from this. And if we're going to go with some of the newer layer ones, there's going to be Celestia, Say, and then also Linea, which is the layer 2. So how do you actually come and now do the research and find these coins? And as I said earlier, you can go to DeFi Llama, look at all the chains and all the layer 1 coins. You can also go to CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and basically look at the ecosystems within each layer 1. So this is an example, we're looking at Avalanche, and you can just scroll down. You can see loads and loads of projects that have been built on top of Avalanche. Just one example is Zeva. Zeva is the launchpad that was launching new projects that were coming onto Avalanche last bull market. If you look at the price action, given from August, July, 0.67, 0.7, going up to about 17.7. That's basically more than a 20x. If you compare that with Avalanche itself during the same period, so we were looking at July, August till November 2021. Here from July to August, it started at 11.05, going up to 130. So that was a 13x. That's a massive run for a layer 1, similar to Solana that did pretty much 100x and then a 10x again this year. These gains can be hard to beat when a layer 1 is doing those many numbers. But if you pick the right coins, like shown here, Zeva, you can actually have, like I said, when I drew that chart, over time, you're going to have a higher upside in terms of volatility, more growth. So you're going to get a 20x here, or you can get a pretty much here to here, 12x, 13x. In my opinion, if you know you're going to get a 13x or a 20x in a layer 1, just buy that layer 1. There's going to be less risk of the project rugging, less chance of it going to zero. But not a lot of layer 1s are really going to do this, right? It's rare to see a layer 1 do a 10x, 13x like Avalanche did, like Fantom did, like Solana did. So if you want to get that higher upside, you do need to go deeper into the ecosystem coins. Now, which coins specifically, or which categories specifically, should you look at when going deeper into ecosystems of layer 1s? In Miles Deutscher's tweet, you can see that in the past 3 months, best performers have been memes, AI, and real-world assets. Gaming hasn't been in there, as gaming hasn't had a good of a run in the past 3 months, but we do know that gaming is the future. We saw the narrative of gaming and metaverse in 2021, and there's no doubt that gaming will have another run this year. There's more games really being built. There's actually more users. There's better graphics. There's better gameplay. There's better tokenomics. Only a matter of time till gaming really takes off. I would put gaming in there as well. You can focus on memes, AI, and real-world assets. So within Avax itself, you got Nuclei that just launched a couple days ago, which is an AI play. You got Playable Games, which is a small market cap, 22 million. Got Shrapnel, which is a first-person shooter, already valued at 73 million. And these are all examples where coins have done well, and I think they will do well. But I also want to highlight something to you just to show you what could happen when things don't go as well. So this example, Krabata. Krabata was a GameFi, DeFi game where you could essentially go and buy crabs, make them fight, and also stake them and earn a yield. You could earn the token Treasure Under the Sea, which was the alternative coin to the project Krabata. And you can see in 2021, November, when it pretty much just launched, it went from 0.67 and went all the way up to pretty much $2, went back down to 0.5, came back to $1.95, and now has just gone and basically gone to zero. You can see now it's got 3 zeros in front of its first number. And when it does go wrong, and when people do leave the ecosystem, these coins can literally go to zero. So as I said, don't get attached to projects. As you can see, when you go to DApp Radar, if you look at the historical activity, you can see that there were a lot of users going up. So the white one is the unique active wallets, the volume is the bars here, and the green is the amount of transactions. So you can see that it just rode up, and pretty much went just right off a cliff. And the reason this went straight off a cliff was because the token Treasure Under the Sea here lost immense value very quickly. So people were only buying crabs and making them fight and staking the coins to earn Treasure Under the Sea. That would allow them to sell it into fiat or sell it and buy more Krabata. But as this token started to lose value, then people started to no longer care about Krabata. Lots of factors can come into play into this, but you do have to realize that with anything in crypto, things can literally go to zero overnight. It's not just small projects like Krabata. This also goes all the way up to projects like Luna, like projects like FTX that can literally just go off a cliff overnight. And the last thing I want to mention is when I previously spoke about what would make a layer 1 pump, one thing that I didn't mention was what would make any coin pump is centralized exchanges listings. So anytime a project is only available on a DEX where you have to have MetaMask or one of these wallets like Fantom and go and actually interact with this on chain, it stops a lot of people from going and trading this coin because they don't know about it. They don't know how to use it. But once you see listings on Mexi, Qcoin, Bybit, Coinbase, Binance, it opens it up to a pool of people who are interested in crypto enough to have an account on exchange, but maybe not interested enough or don't know enough about how to go and trade on chain. Big projects like Fantom that have the Sonic protocol coming on, there's going to be a lot of liquidity going into Fantom itself. If you dig deeper into the ecosystem, as we said, memes being the leaders of this whole run, and I think will continue to run, what do you want to do? You want to look at coins within chains like Fantom, like Solana, like Base, like Avax, and find the meme coins within them that are getting centralized exchange listings. So one example which I already spoke about in the last few days was Fantom Goat. This is the largest staker on the Fantom chain. I believe he has many 8 figures staked on Fantom. He has nodes 144, 145, 146, 147. I believe all of them are within the top 10. And he is now created Sonic Goat. And the reason why I think Sonic Goat will do well is because the Fantom Goat is the largest staker on Fantom. He has a reputation on the line. He also has a lot of money, which he's able to put into marketing and push the coin. That's one of the biggest indicators, is having a lot of liquidity, a lot of eyes, and of course centralized exchanges. That's going to make a meme coin do well. Of course, the layer 1 doing well itself, that's the most important thing. The layer 1 itself has to have a lot of attention, and I think with the Sonic protocol coming out, Fantom's going to do well. And with memes leading the charge this year, memes on Fantom will do well as well. I'm not saying that Sonic Goat is going to do the best, but it does make a lot of sense that there aren't a lot of meme coins on Fantom and is backed by Fantom Goat. Now, hopefully all of that made sense. Now you can go away and do your own research, looking at a layer 1 coin, peeling back its ecosystem, and looking at which coins you think are going to pump and why. Whether you choose to go with real world assets, AI, gaming, that's totally your pick. You don't need to buy any of the coins that I spoke about today. I just want to share my methodology so you can go and do the same without following someone blindly on the internet. Now, if you've watched this till the end, I appreciate you. I'd also appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe. The aim of this channel is to bring you the best crypto alpha, and I'll make sure to see you in the next video.